What's up, everybody? Trad West podcast back at you. And you know what? Are you tired of winning? Are you tired of winning yet? I got a video that just sums up what already just a few days into the Trump administration is looking like in 2025. And it's an oldie, but it's a goodie. And we'll just we'll just play that real quick.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more. We're going to win so much. I love you, Albany.
All right. Oldie but goodie. And that's how it feels. Just a few days into Trump's second presidency. Hindsight being 2020. I'm glad he didn't win in 2020 now. Because I don't think it would have gone this well, and I don't think he would have been as motivated and as focused and as knowledgeable about who to trust and who not to trust. He wouldn't have gotten together with the libertarians. He wouldn't have got together with some of the moderates like RFK Juniors, the Tulsi Gabbards, the Viveks, Elons. All of that happened because of the insanity that was going on and the just disastrous Biden Harris administration's policies. Say what you will about Trump. He means business. He's getting stuff done. He's signing a boatload of good executive orders for the most part. And it's only like not even a week in. It's 5 days in. And I'm not even being hyperbolic when I say this. He's already probably done more good over 5 days than the Biden-Harris administration did in 4 years. And I'm going to just sound like a partisan Trump shill, but that's the God honest truth. You didn't hear from Biden. He didn't do interviews. If they did, they were pre-recorded so they could edit it out and he wouldn't look like he had dementia. And Trump's sitting there, like, just fielding questions from reporters as he's signing executive orders, actually having conversations with the reporters. And they were so used to not being able to get anything out of Biden for 4 years that he had to put a couple of them in check and be like, whoa. No, I'm going to actually answer your questions. Let me finish and stop interrupting. And they kind of forgot what that was like, having an actual leader, having someone who's coherent, and having an actual, let's just say, alpha in charge. And the reporter was immediately like, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir. They were used to, Biden having to baby step him through stuff and basically give him words to say or listen to his incoherent drivel as if he was actually saying a coherent sentence. So, a bunch of executive orders he's done. A bunch of it's been good. Zelensky's already saying he's going to come to the table and be willing to have talks about ending that conflict. You saw right before he took office that even The Atlantic, who is super left, giving Trump credit before he even took office on brokering a ceasefire between Israel and Palestine. And I just want to get this out there. Even to you most deranged Trump haters out there, Trump derangement syndrome, a lot of you have it. You won't give him credit for anything. You think he's just terrible. All you do is read clickbait headline articles and think he's literal Hitler. If Donald Trump gets a stop to Ukraine-Russia conflict, which countless lives are just ending, people are being slaughtered, Ukraine's population is going to be, they're going to be ruined for generations now. They're drafting elderly and teenagers because they're running out of people. And you all are just perfectly fine that support that, sending men off to the meat grinder. And I believe they're even making women be drafted now. So if Trump is able to put a stop to that war, and even if he doesn't do both, and the Israel-Palestine conflict, I'm sorry. You don't have to like the guy, but all the haters out there, all the TDS people out there, at least put your pride aside, put your partisan politics aside, and give him kudos, and at least say, hey, don't like the guy, but he does know what he's doing talking to other world leaders and diplomacy and foreign policy. And that is an overall net positive that he's doing on that stage to save countless lives from being lost in meaningless wars. So if you don't have it in you to do that, if he gets these deals brokered and these conflicts ended, then you don't live in reality. You are not based in reality at all. You live in an alternate reality. Donald Trump, little Hitler, orange man bad, NPC. I will do whatever mainstream media tells me to and what to think. Even though some of the liberal media is at least like coming out and giving Donald Trump kudos on some of the stuff he's doing. Like I said, The Atlantic had the article about thanking him for getting a ceasefire in the Palestine-Israel conflict. He's ending DEI. I'm going to put up a separate video about DEI separate because that's an overall good thing. Executive order, yeah, I'm for it. We're acknowledging there's only two genders, male and female, but if that doesn't go to show you how batshit crazy as a society we had gotten, that executive order even needs signed. Like, I heard it and I was like, why do we need an executive order for that? That should be common sense. But that just goes to show you how crazy it's gotten here and why Donald Trump truly got elected. People were sick of it. Normies even, who don't really like Trump, think he's kind of comes off as abrasive, don't like his personality. I totally understand that. I get it. But he speaks truth for the most part. He's going to tell you hard truths rather than comforting lies, which a lot of politicians do. And I prefer that. I prefer you to be real. I prefer you to be not super. They always say he's not presidential. I don't like that. Saying someone's presidential to me means they're putting on an act and telling you things you want to hear, not what you need to hear or not what's actually going on. Trump's going to just straight up admit, like he openly admitted his first presidency, that, oh yeah, we're selling all these weapons to Saudi Arabia. It's going to be great. We're getting a bunch of money for it. And the media was like, did he just like come out and say it? Did he just say the quiet part out loud? We're just selling a bunch of weapons to these people? Yeah. Okay. Other than the other ones that do it behind your backs to the cartels, Operation Fast and the Furious, those of you that don't think the Obama administration was involved in these scandals, giving automatic weapons to the cartels down there in Mexico. So, Trump labeled the cartels in Mexico terrorist organizations. That's good. They're sending fentanyl, and they're responsible for all these drug-related issues here in America, as well as human trafficking, child trafficking. So, birthright citizenship, ending that, that's a more nuanced topic, but overall, I do agree with it. In modernity, that birthright citizenship needs reworked or looked at. It does not make sense that someone can just be here temporarily, have a baby, and that baby just automatically gets citizenship. It is being abused. It is being taken advantage of. And there's people that do come here just to have children so that their children then become U.S. citizens. Same thing with you already got them getting illegals that have committed, mainly ones that have committed violent crimes. That should be a no-brainer as well. Like, you can say what you want about, oh my gosh, he's going to come and round up all these people and they're just, they just wanted a better life. I get an argument can be made there, but you have Democrats that have voted against bills that would send illegals back who have committed like sexual heinous crimes and sexual like a sexual assault crimes and that type of stuff against people here. And almost every Democrat, if not all Democrats, voted against those bills. Like, that just goes to show you how ass backwards one of the parties is currently and why overwhelmingly more people voted Republican this election. It's not because there's just more people that are Republican, it's the Republicans were offering a bit of normalcy to the average American person who doesn't really get in the weeds, the meat and potatoes of politics. They just, they're busy, they work hard, they would just want to work and provide for their family and friends. And for a while, they were being willingly going along with all this DEI, transgender bullshit, all this and that, woke ideology, and, enough boiled up where I think people were fucking with people's kids. And that was the tipping point to make a lot of people, your average people who didn't want to care, was willing to go along with it just to be nice, say, hey, wait a minute. This is getting nuts. This is getting crazy. No more. We need a bit of normalcy back here. Okay. And you can't just import constant people. We like immigration, legal immigration. And, H-1B was a big issue. Kind of, I got no problem with an H-1B program if you're like doing it more merit-based. People that have an exceptional skill level are coming over to work. But even Trump himself, I don't agree with some of his stuff. He's talking about like people coming over that are just exceptional waiters and wine connoisseurs and all this. You know what? I get it. He's probably in the high class waiter, waitress world where you're actually like a professional doing it. But that's still not a high skill profession that could be taught. That's a thing about like, we need to get rid of this whole everyone needs this worthless college degree. And all these companies need to be more willing to take low end people who don't have a lot of experience or a fancy college degree and just give them on the job training. Those things that Trump was talking about, waiters and waitressing, like, okay, if you're like a wine expert, but I still don't think that needs to get you on a special visa here to work. But nonetheless, waiter and waitressing, even in the fanciest of areas, restaurants, that can be taught. Not rocket science. Not something that you need someone that's like super engineer minded or anything like that. Problem solving. These are basic things that people that are already here, that are citizens in America, could learn. And just, if you ever go and look through, like if you're looking for a job or just go browse, sometimes I browse like jobs that are open. And just a lot of the requirements are complete BS, whether it's 3 to 5 years of work experience in that field or, a bunch of schooling. And it's a lot of the jobs are not particularly crazy things that you couldn't just hire someone on and give them on the job training for 3 to 6 months, and they would probably be perfectly fine doing it. They don't need 3 to 5 years experience doing this. So, I think instead of just trying to find a bunch of people outside of our country to bring in and work these jobs, we just need to make sure these companies are just willing to provide on the job training for new employees rather than already have these high demands of someone needing years and years of experience or years and years of school. Because at the end of the day, half the years and years you spend in school is just doing BS electives that have nothing to do with your major and no bearing at all. Just worthless, not going to carry over in the real world at all. So, another thing, Freed Ross Ulbricht, a lot of normies aren't really going to know his whole story, but very big with the libertarian community. I was all for it. He basically went to jail and, the feds do what the feds do and got a bunch of other bogus stuff that they were trying to accuse him of. But and that, long story short, what Ross Ulbricht did was he ran that website Silk Road, which was kind of like a dark web way that a lot of people were selling stuff, trading with Bitcoin. And now that this seems like Trump administration is going to be a pretty pro crypto administration, Bitcoin's gotten a lot more mainstream. They finally pardoned him, let him out. He pardoned a bunch of the J6ers. It's long overdue. No matter what you think about people that were involved in J6, they didn't deserve to be imprisoned for that long for what occurred. Because all the clickbait articles that tell you they beat police officers with fire extinguishers and killed police officers that day didn't happen. No police officers died that day during the January 6th riot. The main one that they like to reference had like a heart attack the days following. It wasn't even involved on that day. So just a bunch of propaganda that the media spreads about J6. Yeah, there were some bad actors. I'm willing to bet half of them might have been feds or informants because it was shown that there was a bunch of Fed involvement too. So those people have done more than enough time, even if they were violent and may have assaulted a police officer or something that day. It wasn't to the degree where you're getting more than 4 years in prison. And these people were basically, there's stories that, basically torture. Not like ripping fingernails off and that type of torture, but like put in solitary for weeks on end. You had like grandmas they were coming and finding. They spent all this time and effort going after these people where they went all the way to Alaska looking for somebody, broke down this woman's door. She wasn't even there. It was the wrong house, wrong person. So excited to see them. Hopefully, Kash Patel goes in and reforms the FBI, cleans house, and cleans a lot of that stuff up because that's just ridiculous. And then the pro-life individuals, he pardoned those. I think he should have just done it right away, but wanted to make a spectacle of it, doing it while the March of Life was going on. But again, these people, they were sitting outside of a Planned Parenthood or something like that, not attacking people. They were praying. Some of them were like elderly people that were just praying. People could just walk around them. They might have been like in the walkway, but you just walk around them. And these people were put in prison for this. Okay. Like I would treat this the same. Like, okay, put them in handcuffs, take them away, arrest them, slap on the wrist. You're paying a ticket, fine, trespassing, something like that. Same thing as, and that's not even as bad as these people, but I feel like these people shouldn't go to prison either. The climate activists, or you name it, that link arms and block actual roads and highways. Far more dangerous and inconvenient for that type of stuff. But again, those people that are doing that type of protesting, let them do it. Put them in handcuffs, take them away, slap on the wrist, fine, ticket, and they're not going to prison for that. Same as these pro-life people, but since the Biden administration and the left, their religion is the ability to murder babies and get abortions. That's their number one issue topic. They decided to throw the book at these people because they were pro-life. So kudos to Trump on those executive orders. He looks like he's going to be pretty big with crypto. So, hey, not financial advice, but I definitely have been working on my crypto portfolio over the past few years, and I'm pretty excited on the potentials. So, if you got money to be investing, I think you should really be looking into crypto. And, FDA announced a ban on red dye 3. Another win. I know RFK Jr. is coming, but I wasn't overall happy with that because they have like a few years before it has to be fully taken in effect. It's like, no, make it instant. Okay, maybe they don't have to recall the products that they already have produced and out, but once everything they got produced and out is sold off and done, anything they make going forward should have this removed from it. And that's another thing I don't get why people, it shouldn't be controversial to want our foods and our water supply and all that to be healthier and safer. I don't get it. I don't get why anyone can have anything to say against that. But inevitably, Trump is a very polarizing character, and people are going to have a problem with it no matter what. No matter what he does, he can come out and cure cancer. And there's going to be people arguing that, cancer is a necessary evil or cancer is good or something. Or, yeah, oh, no, that was something that Biden did. Okay. Even though Biden doesn't even know what his name is, probably. So, gonna end the video there. Make sure you like, subscribe. Had some computer issues. Hopefully that's good going forward. Had to take my laptop completely apart. Once I got it put back together, it didn't want to turn on. I'm not super tech savvy, so I had to take it apart a couple more times. And now it's back on and running, although it removed all my files and everything, so I had to re-download everything. I don't know if maybe I put it back together and just slightly didn't have something all the way connected or what, but technology, gotta love it. Hopefully I'll be pumping out more videos, but let me know in the comments what you think of Trump's presidency so far. And, hopefully the haters out there can at least, you don't have to like the guy, just give him credit where credit's due. And so far in 5 days, I think there's a lot to be happy about. And I'm looking forward to the next 4 years. But until next time, Brad West Podcast out.